first transaction ever was a $75,000 condo. Trying to get into business mode as opposed to friendships, family, because to gain the business, you kind of got to act like a business owner.
We're 27 and not everyone's buying $1 million homes. After my job is done, like, I'm more than happy to be a helping hand to him.
I can fail 10 times, but this one, or 9 times, but the 10th could hit. So you really never know.
100%.
Those strangers will be screaming your name from the rooftops. And then your closest friends and family may or may not.
Today on the show, I'm joined with James Kirklin III
Yes, sir.
and his wife, Alexis Kirklin. Watch out, Atlanta. We've got Atlanta's new hottest power couple here. James is a Metro Atlanta agent who's become a top producer in just 3 short years. And Alexis is a Georgia Tech grad, go Jackets, Georgia Tech MBA candidate, a top sales account manager at Google, and now a newly licensed agent. Together, James and Alexis are scaling the Kirklin Team with a clear vision for growth and long-term wealth. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
So let's go back to where it started. It wasn't glory days always. James, I know you've been in the business for about 3.5 years or so, but those first 8 months, tell me about the first 8 months that it took you to get that first deal and what it felt like.
So when you get into the business, you think it's just going to be easy. You're going to jump right into it, going to close all these deals. But it's interesting. I jumped right into the business during the post-COVID, low interest rates. Didn't know anything about anything. So I'm just jumping in, opening doors for agents, just kind of doing busy work. But what I will say is, and what I try to help people with now is just saying, instead of doing the busy work, do what produces results.
Yeah.
So I was opening doors and I was driving Uber Eats and I was doing everything but doing what I should have been doing to get business, you know? So, I mean, long story short, I finally tapped into the withdrawn market that we're going to probably discuss later on in this podcast.
Yeah.
And my first 2 deals actually came within a couple weeks of each other in month 8, withdrawn. So, like I said, I was doing the runaround for the longest and then finally got that breakthrough. First transaction ever was a $75,000 condo in Stone Mountain.
Wow.
Worse. We'll leave it there. But then my second transaction ever was a $645,000 single family in Kennesaw. Door knocked them when I saw that they withdrew from the market. So like I said, it was more about being more intentional rather than trying to be reactive, as I say.
Yeah. My first deal in 2019 was a $75,000 house in Rex, Georgia.
Oh, man.
And my broker took like half of the commission.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
She framed my first ever check. It was $1,000. It was $1,000.
I think I got like $1,500.
Yeah, it was $1,000.
So what do you think clicked after that first or second deal that kind of pushed you through to the level that you're at today?
It's really, and that's still the case to this day, it's really about momentum because you can leverage what you just, 1, made, and 2, what you just learned, most importantly, from that last deal to kind of keep spurring you forward. Because once you get a little bit of, I guess, your reputation, trust, even on social media and all, it's like, okay, this guy's actually doing business, not just posting houses. I mean, it's crazy what comes from simply holding that little sign up, you know, and people actually think you're doing something. So I think that I just started to understand the contracts, understanding people. You know, like understanding just, you know, kind of how the process goes from start to finish. Right. And those were 2 very tough transactions. When you're working with withdrawns a lot of times, it's a reason why I didn't sell the first 2, 3 times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that guy, I can have a nightmare about that guy to this day. He was the worst person I think I've ever ran into in my life. But we got it done. $75,000, first ever deal.
I can't imagine that. We're going to get into some of the withdrawn and the expired stuff. But Alexis, I'm curious, what was it like, you know, seeing James go through that struggle for like 8 months?
Yeah, I was a year ahead of him because he actually got his master's in public administration. So he did his 5th year of college, played his last year of baseball.
Oh, cool.
And so I was already working in corporate America. I had, bi-weekly paychecks and was like living in Buckhead and like living and
Here I
mean, like he was at a drop of a hat, like opening doors for real estate agents and, like,
Yeah.
would spend his evenings, especially in the summer, like, door knocking from, like, 5 to when the
Dang,
sun would
hustling.
go down, like, absolutely hustling, and then would come home, chill, and then go drive Uber Eats. I mean, he is notorious for this, but he doesn't know how to rest. And so
Mm.
I think for those 8 months and even still today, like, he does not know how to turn his brain
He's
off,
got
so
that dog in him.
he's
It's getting
always
it's getting
grinding.
better. It's getting better.
Always
She can
grinding.
probably tell you it's getting better though.
That's awesome. And I understand that you're crushing it. You crush it at Amazon, you're crushing it at Google now. So I'm curious, like, why get your license?
Yeah, I think part of it had to do with seeing James work so much and coming from corporate, like, as you know, there's so much structure that we
Yeah.
have, and seeing him build his business from the ground and maybe not have the structure that
Mhm.
I see in my day-to-day, I think
Yeah.
that I can add a lot of value in that sense, and seeing him do a lot of little, like, administrative tasks that he probably shouldn't be doing.
Mm.
And then on top of that, I think full circle moment, I actually found our current house on Zillow
Okay.
randomly. It had been sitting on the market for, like,
60 days.
60
About 60 days.
days. It was so ugly. But when we walked in, I was like, "James, like, this is the house." I was like, "Imagine we, like, rip up the floors, we paint
Mm.
this, we get new this, we do this." And, like, I have that vision of, like, I can take this ugly little thing, make it stunning. And so over the past 2.5 years, we've renovated every single inch of our house. And I think that in the new era of real estate and having 20-year-old houses, like,
100%.
most people can't afford the $1.2 million move-in ready brand
Mhm.
new house. And so having the vision of, like, yeah, this house might not be what you want it to be right now, but if you see the vision and have, like, a little bit of direction, I can help you get there with your initial investment and make
Mhm.
some equity. Like,
Yeah.
I think in the first 6 months, we had made $40,000 in
Yeah.
equity with just
Mhm.
our basic renovations of our
Mhm.
house.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at your stories, and recently you did your bathroom, right? It
Yeah.
looks really slick.
We're
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah. We
I'm
love it.
excited
We
for
love it.
you.
We love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I guess what do you think you'll take from the corporate world specifically to the real estate world other than like, supporting James and having that vision?
I think, again, like, the administrative and just getting stuff done. I see, like, a lot of, like, you working with agents that don't necessarily have, like, "Let's get it done."
Mhm.
Sometimes, like, your clients don't have the "let's get it done."
Yeah.
But in corporate America, it's like, you have to get it done. Like, we have a deadline, we have something to do.
Right.
And so I think having that structure of, like, I need this back from you today by
Mhm.
2 so I can send it to the closing
Mhm.
coordinator so that we
Yep.
can do this. And, like, even in the past couple of months, he's had, like, a lot of closings that have been delayed off of,
Mm.
like, administrative stuff that other people should have done. It's, like,
Right.
being on top of that so that everyone is happy so that we can close on time. I think a lot of administrative stuff, but on top of that, I think, like, social media and branding, like,
Mm.
obviously I work in sales, but a lot of that is also marketing, so I think I can also bring that aspect as well.
That's
She's
so
seen
good.
me having 5 transactions going on at once, and me having to be yeah,
Like, seriously,
she's
seriously,
know what that
yo.
looks like. She
Yeah.
knows what that looks like of me having to be in Rome, Commerce, Georgia,
Yeah.
Fairburn. It's just like it's a lot,
It
it's a
is.
lot. So she sees that, and she's so smart. She passed it in one time. Like she just. I mean, it's. I appreciate her. I
I
appreciate her.
also love showing houses. Like,
Yeah.
it's like my
Mm.
HGTV
She's my secret
dream.
weapon.
Yeah.
She's been selling houses way before she's been licensed.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. She's like, man, I love this. That's all she got to say. And then she gets with the wives, and it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, I love your story because I can relate to it so much. Like Lexi was in marketing and she has that eye and that
Mhm.
vision. And after seeing me like push through as an agent for the first year, she ended up quitting her
Wow.
job to support me. And like she was writing, I'd go show a house with a client and I'd get in the car, call Lexi, and I'm like, hey, all right, we're gonna write an offer for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
She's back at home writing the
Yeah.
offer up,
Yeah.
sending it to the client before they even hit the house. The
Yeah.
offer's like ready to go right there. So like that collaboration and just bringing two different minds together, I
Right.
think is like what's gonna set you apart and make you successful long
Mm-hmm.
term. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the biggest shift that I saw coming from corporate was the exact same thing. It's like it's a blessing but also like a curse because you're bringing a lot of structure.
Mhm.
You're bringing a lot of that, but at the same time, it's like what a lot of agents struggle with is like not having any of that, but you need to have like flexibility as well with like everything going on. So like just going through that transition for me was like, "Oh, I need structure." And like, I'm trying to start a team and have like 3 or 4 agents that are coming. I'm like, "Okay, we need a one-on-one meeting, we need a weekly meeting, we need a monthly meeting and all this." And they're like, "Whoa, we don't want any of this."
Just
Like,
winging it.
you're just swinging
Yeah,
it,
just winging it.
But it really shows when you're doing 5 deals in a month or whatever. I think the top that I had was in December of 2022. I was doing I think I had 11 transactions going on that month,
That's funny.
and that really, like, just tested the systems
Yep.
and the processes, and, like, after that experience, like, I got every single thing templated, we, like, worked on, like, process, and it's gonna make such a difference when you're, like, trying to, like, do volume,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
good for good for you guys. I mean, I'm excited for what's next for
Thank you.
both of you,
We are
so
too. We are too.
let's get into some of the expired stuff. A lot of agents are saying expireds don't really work anymore. So, like, what would you say to them?
Well, you know this market shifted.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I mean, I think so we do market stats, and I wanna say about 1 out of every 2 listings right now are failing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, that's the lowest hanging fruit of someone who had intention to sell and it just didn't sell for
Yeah.
whatever reason. And a lot of times it's price, but sometimes our little small vision, like she said, touch up this and
Mm,
get some new this. And are you willing to spend 3 grand to make 20 grand? You know, it's just little things like that that you have to understand and educate these clients on.
yeah.
It goes a long way. So it's funny with the numbers that we do, you get 4, 5, 6 of those a year. You pull from your sphere, you pull from a few referrals.
Mm,
It turns out being a good year.
yeah.
So, I mean, I listed 6 last year that were withdrawns, and my largest transaction ever from those withdrawns was 700,000. So, I mean, and that was just a random Friday night. I remember the guy said, "I don't usually answer these calls, but I did tonight, so it must be a good sign. Go meet my wife on Sunday," because he was out of town. And sure enough, we got it listed that next week, and even that wasn't a nice transaction. It was a
Mm,
great house in Marietta, East Cobb, but it just needed a lot of work, and we got it sold. So it's one of those things where people have every intent to sell.
yeah.
It didn't sell for whatever reason, so you got to go be the problem solver. So while she alluded to me going and door knocking back in the day, I used to go just to the biggest, nicest neighborhoods in my
Hmm.
area.
You have
No
to.
plan, just no plan. I actually did close one last year from that. So I door knocked in March of 2022. We closed last year in February 2025 for 935,000. So just
Wow.
nurtured them for 3 years. But that was the only one I've ever closed from just door knocking mindlessly. So what I turned to doing was door knocking expireds themselves. People
Okay.
call them all day.
Yeah.
But when you just intentionally go door knock them, it's like, who is this guy on my
Mm,
doorstep? Hey, my name is James. I live 10 minutes up the road. I know you're trying to sell, but would you happen to still be interested in selling?
yeah.
They're like, first of all, I don't even know that people did this anymore because you get scared about door knocking. People are the nicest people ever,
Yeah.
truly. Like, yeah, as long as you come professional,
Hmm.
not too salesy. Like I wear something like this. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a normal guy. And I'm just like, hey man, like I saw I was withdrawn. Would you happen to still be interested in selling? And we get into a 10-minute conversation about how terrible their last agent was, how they didn't host any open
Dang.
houses, yada, 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 yada. And I say, well, how does next Tuesday at 2 o'clock sound? Just anything, just trying to get the appointment. Because once you get in the door, they've
Hmm.
obviously shown that they're interested. And
Sure.
then you built a rapport. We actually have houses that we've sold now. So it doesn't look like I'm just some newbie agent trying to,
Right.
get in the door. So it's it makes sense, but expires and withdrawals, it's a beast. It's a beast because you can list it, have everything right, and it's still not sell.
Hmm.
So you just kind of got to take the good with the bad in there.
Yeah. A lot of people listening, our audience are other agents in Atlanta trying to reach the same success.
Mhm.
For an agent that's just getting into withdrawns and expireds, like what would you tell them?
Shoot. Honestly, I've gotten into cold calling over the last year.
Yeah.
Once again, not sexy, but I mean, it's all about volume. If you
Right.
call 1,000 people, you can't tell me you can't get one lead. And with a triple line dollar, that'll take if you're really doing what you need to be doing, a week or 2. So, I mean, you should be getting at least a listing a month if you're really hitting the phones how you need to be. I like door knocking because I'm looking to, 1, intentionally increase my price point, and we
Mhm.
live in a pretty nice area, so going to that house that might have been withdrawn at 799, like when I called yesterday and got in touch with. Maybe they need to be at 750.
Yeah.
Beautiful home, just a little overpriced for the area. Hey, you bought this in 2006 for 370. What does it really look like at you going on at 750? Was there like a reason that you decided to list that? And you just
Yeah.
kind of got to get those answers out of them because of their motivation. I
Mm.
mean, if you just get someone that their neighbor sold for 775 in 2022 and they want 775 now, they might not get that. But the what I'd like to say is, if I'd have told you if you bought your $200,000 house in 2002, yeah, 200,000, and now it's worth 750, and you could have got 775, you'd
Mhm.
probably be all right at 750. It's
Yeah.
one of those things where it went like this and a slight dip, but you
Yeah.
still came out on top
Yeah. I mean, the market kinda just tells you what a house is worth, so half
every
the time
time.
it's just pricing
Every
strategy.
time, for
But
sure. I mean, you got our generation buying into what they're selling out of.
yeah.
So it's kinda a bit tough and then you put it into perspective like that, and then they're like, "You know what? You're right. Like, let's not be greedy. Let's be logical."
Mhm.
People don't often work with logic. They work with emotion
Yeah.
in real estate, as you know. So you just kinda gotta find that happy medium, and that's kinda where she says I need to wean off of a little bit because the truth is the truth. Your house is overpriced. We've had 25 showings, hasn't sold. There needs to be an adjustment made.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you mentioned that you're trying to get into a higher price point.
Mhm.
What are some things that you guys are doing to achieve that?
Man, I think so. One thing I heard at a mastermind this Monday
Mhm.
was that houses sell themselves. We're trying to sell ourselves. So I think we have to attract who we want to work with.
Mm.
So with that being said, we're getting into more lifestyle content,
Yep.
getting into more promoting us
Right.
as opposed to talking real estate, real estate, real estate, and people don't wanna hear that.
Mm.
They know that the market shifted. They know that it's expensive, but if either you can or you can't, especially at that price point,
Right.
and that's why I kinda like working up there. Last year, we closed a deal for 935, like I said. They start out at 880 cash. I
Mm.
said, "This is what it's gonna take to win it." They said, "Okay, sounds good." It's just you can or you can't. So we need to get in the circles and be the go-to agents for those price points, those people, and just be in those rooms.
Mhm. As you guys kinda, put your heads together, Alexis, I'm wondering, how do you divide roles but still kinda work together for a common goal? How do you stay aligned?
James is really the face of the business. He is
We're
so
about to
social.
turn that around.
I feel
He's
like I
so
feel like he would
social.
say the same
We're
thing
about to
about
turn that
you.
around. I am, I am, I am.
He's like a one take wonder. Like, he's so good at stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he makes a good point. We do need to, like, I need to get out of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
But I think, like, on the back end, there's a lot of stuff that, like you mentioned, like Lexi writing the contract for you. By the time
Yeah.
you get home, like, I could see myself doing that because I'm 9 to 5. Like,
Mhm.
after my job is done, like, I'm more than happy to be a helping hand to him, whether that's, like, at showings or on my own showings,
Mhm.
writing the contracts for him. Not to be, like, a glorified assistant. I think I have that, like, idea in my head, and I really need to, like,
Yeah.
transcend that.
Yeah,
You're like
Uh,
director of ops,
yeah.
yeah.
like, that's what you
She
are.
Like, Lex is the
I'm
CEO
telling
of your
you.
life. I'm the CEO of his life.
Like, when she first got going, she had this idea of what it would be, and I told her, I was like, "You're thinking so small.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, you're thinking way too like, her reach and just her, like, compatibility with people is
Yeah.
crazy, and she only thinks of herself as, "I'm just gonna do this." I'm like, "No, you're about to be a star in it," and that's what
Yes.
everyone just laughs when she says what she thinks she's gonna do because they have a 2-minute conversation with her, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna
Yeah.
get," and they know she's gonna kill it. So it's just about attracting those right people and because I'm telling you, man, you think that people are just gonna use you just because
Mhm.
you know them, but it don't work like that. You
No.
gotta, like, earn that trust, and
Mhm.
even when you think you've earned that trust, it's not a given, you know? So we've had people, um just, go with different agents. You know how that goes. And it's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like it happened the first time, it's like, dang, it happened the second time, it's like, dang, it happened the third time. But then you have like this random person that you close a deal with refer you 3 people and they all close. And it's just like one thing you have to understand is if it's meant to be, it will be,
Yeah.
And then that's kind of what I've like that's what I've learned to understand. That's what
Yeah.
I've learned to understand.
When I first met you guys at our brokerage mottos launch party, I had no doubt, like, just talking to you for 30 seconds, Alexis, like, you're just talking about Georgia Tech. Oh, I'm getting my MBA. Oh, I'm gonna take the real estate license test. Like at that point, I was like, just talking to you. There's no way you're not gonna pass that test on the first try.
She
But
did
sure enough,
it.
I
She
was
did
so
it.
nervous.
She did it. She did, and like we were kinda saying, like, she just needs to get more out of her comfort zone and posting more and talking about it more, like, people will just loosely throw those conversations around
yeah,
all day, and, Google and executive MBA program, I mean, you gotta think about the high level thinkers that you're around all day, every day.
yeah,
I mean, people are starting families, people are upgrading, upsizing, "Oh, I'm selling this house, I'm buying," and it's just like, "Oh, we're actually a team."
yeah,
And it's just such a simple thing. It's like, "Oh, no, we're not just we just got our license team." No, we're top 5% in our brokerage of over 430 agents.
yeah.
It's one of those things that's just it'll happen over time, but you just gotta get used to speaking the
And
language.
it's all about connections. Like if you're not door knocking, if you're not cold calling, like what are you doing? You're working your sphere.
Mhm.
But to get started, like the bigger sphere that you have and having that Georgia Tech, Amazon, just like those those are people that are earning six figures
Yeah.
that are in like big rooms. Like our book of business was based off of my past jobs and my
Mhm.
past
Mhm.
education, past groups that we're in. So
Yep.
bring that in the real estate and there's no way you can't fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, and Imma say that just 'cause it's on my mind. It's just, like, hard finding people that can really afford houses at our age.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're 27,
Well,
like,
with the rates and everything, it's no one's
Oh,
fault,
yeah.
right? It's
it's
like
not like
We
it's
landed in a
a
crazy time.
$300,000 house isn't just, like, inexpensive.
yeah.
Like, when you think about it, especially, like, for our age, you're
Mhm.
usually putting down not a lot of money because where have you gotten all this money in the last 3 years
Yeah.
if you've lived? So you're paying a high 2,000s a month as a single person a lot of times. It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. So, what were you about to say?
Well, I was just gonna bring it back to the like earlier you asked like what we're doing this year a little bit differently and we're
Mhm.
pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, being more social, whether that's like going out to dinner on a Friday night
Yes.
or going to like more work events or even for
Mhm.
him, like even coming to y'all's event was so much fun. Like
Mhm.
not that that was like not on the radar, but we were like, we should go support someone else. And we met you guys and that's been so lovely. So
Yeah.
like
And now
just
you're here, so
exactly. Like getting out, meeting more people, making more connections. And then on top of that, I think expanding our social media presence this year will be
Yeah,
really
for sure.
huge.
For
Yeah.
sure.
One of the things that Lexi and I do at the top of each year, and that's what we did like 2 weeks ago, is we literally make a list of all the people,
Mm.
like you guys are on that list, by the way, people we want to have dinner with,
This
just like connect and network, right?
Yeah.
And whether they're your friends already or you're just kind of getting to know them, it's like being intentional. And like
Mm.
every Thursday is a dinner with someone new or
I love
someone
that.
Wow.
that, every Tuesday is a date night for me and Lexi. Like
Mm.
we're like, you gotta be methodical about it and start, take a step back and like, who do I wanna meet?
Mhm.
Who do I wanna spend my time with?
I'm telling you,
Because
that's crazy that you mentioned that because, like, I'm not gonna say you take it for granted that people will utilize you, but
yeah.
if, like, you are more intentional about cultivating the relationship, I
Mhm.
think that comes as a byproduct, the deal. Like, the deal is gonna happen whether that's this year, in 5 years, but if I put my best foot forward to, befriend you and actually be a true friend,
Yeah.
I think that opens up those floodgates.
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
What's next for the Kirklin brand then? What are you thinking? You're newly licensed.
Yeah.
You've seen them work and hustle for the last 3 years. What are you thinking? You mentioned like great marketing. What else
Mhm.
are you thinking for the brands?
We're actually in the process of having like our launch media session in the next couple of
Yes.
weeks. So we're
Yeah.
doing
Cool.
that, which is really exciting.
Yep.
And then I don't really know. I
Tell
think
me
we
tell
have a
me
really
about
big
that.
year.
What is the media? What do you
So
mean?
this will be a more me thing. So my brokerage currently they bring in a lot of heavy hitters, like
Mhm.
just in conversation and whatnot. So like I said, I went to a mastermind, and it was someone that's a huge social media market manager or all that,
Yeah.
and I was like, I need to connect with people. I'm not one to just look and just kind of wonder what it's like. I reached out and we had a 40-minute conversation just about this, that, this, that. Let me look at your page. Let me look at her page. Oh, she's not
Nice.
posting enough. Oh, you're good. Oh, this, that, this. But y'all have a lot to work with. And she was like, listen, it'll be $3,000 a month to
Okay.
do da 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 da. But That's a lot. So to
Yeah.
get started, like, let's just do something for $1,000 and let's just get some stuff out there and like show me how or let me know how it is actually and what y'all received in the traction. So I jumped on it. I was like, $1,000. I mean, what
Yeah.
is that to your business, investing in your business? And it's 8 professionally shot, mini commercials basically.
Mhm.
And it'll just kind of be the launch of us in that space. People know me as the agent that's hustling, and people know Alexis as the Googler that just got her license. But
Mm.
what does it look like when we put our heads together?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want people to see. Like anytime I talk about real estate now, it's us. Like I never say just me or just
Right.
her. It's us. It's
Yeah.
us. It's us. It's us. And I got to get that even through her head sometimes.
Yeah.
That it's us
We,
now. Yeah,
us.
we,
There's no I.
there is no more I. And like even when I'm calling my withdrawns, I say, hey, we built our business off of
Right.
selling homes that didn't sell the first time. She got her license a month ago. But we built our business off of selling homes that didn't sell the first time, So that's kind of one of those things that's next. It's just getting people to look at us as a team, the team that we are and always have been.
Mhm.
I think that's so funny you say that because we always have been a team. Like, I've been along for the ride since day one,
Mhm.
going to listing presentations, going to
She does.
listings,
She
like
does.
helping stage the house.
Yeah.
Like, I've been along for the ride. So to say, obviously, I got my license a month ago, but I've
She's
been
been there.
in the game for a while.
Telling
I
you,
feel
she
like.
sold some houses.
Yeah.
She sold some houses.
Under
She
the
has.
table.
I'm telling you. I mean, we're at Bar Taco, and she's like, "What do y'all think about this house? Let's just go look at it real quick."
Oh, I am a Zillow queen.
Mm.
I
Yes.
love Zillow. So when I get my hands on the MLS, it's over.
Oh, game over.
Yeah, yeah.
What would you advise other agents that are couples as well? I've got my own experience to draw, but I want to hear from you guys.
Man, we
Like,
need to get with y'all. Jesus. We're learning as we're going, truthfully.
Yeah.
Truthfully and transparently, we're kind of stuck on start. But I think that was at least getting the social media presence out there. That was the
Yeah.
start of like at least saying like, hey, for what it's worth, we're here.
just announcing it. Yeah.
Yeah, just announcing. I mean, that's half the battle. I mean, especially now is a good time, January, February, leading into the hot months.
Mhm.
To at least say, hey, y'all, we're here and we're here to stay. But like I said, we're kind of figuring it out, and we want to be more intentional, especially with like connecting. Sorry, with people like y'all, just saying like what works,
Mhm.
what's fluff, and what can we do to really expedite this in a positive way. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but
Yeah.
we do understand that you have to be intentional about building your business because it is a business.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Honestly, I think we are stuck on start.
Yeah.
I think I'm more so struggling because I don't know what that transition looks like and like how I go about building a brand for not only our team but like myself
Mhm.
as a whole.
Mm.
And so I was telling him, I was like, we need to connect with more people. I was like, we need to go to dinner with them because I was like,
Yeah,
I
she did
don't
say.
know
Yeah.
how to do that, and like I'm not ready to leave corporate America. I absolutely love my job,
Right.
and so I want to be able to do both,
Mhm.
but I want to figure out a way to like incorporate real estate into my day-to-day and like what that looks like
Mhm.
Mhm.
building my brand at work or even at tennis. Like I met so many ladies through tennis in the area.
Telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah, telling you.
James is so I have
I'm telling you.
so many
I'm
circles.
just like,
Like
Jesus Christ.
NBA, work, tennis.
You just gotta say yes to everything. Like,
I know. And
party,
I think
yes.
We're doing better about
Event,
that.
yes.
last year was such a yes year. And
Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
this year will be too.
It
But
was.
I think the shift into this year is like
Mm.
I keep telling him to like be more calm in the sense that like he doesn't trust the fact that he's built his business over the past 3 years. And I think he's still trying to prove himself to like
Mm.
friends and family that don't like still see him as like this 19-year-old boy building his business and knocking on doors and like selling
Yeah.
$75,000 condos. But like he's well respected now. He doesn't trust the fact that his business is doing work for him
Mhm.
behind the scenes.
And
Like,
I've seen it as of
friends
late.
are referring
Yeah.
him.
Mhm.
He has one friend that has literally 3 deals in the past year.
Mm.
Another
And they
guy,
referred me to
like
2.
2 or 3
Yeah.
deals. Like, and it's not like friends and family that are doing that. These are like
Just like,
third
yeah.
circle friends
Yeah.
or even like strangers that have
Strangers.
now become such good
Strangers.
friends. And like the sphere that he's building on the back end of people who have used him and trust him and love him and now referring him to new people, he needs to trust that that's snowballing. And I think
Mhm.
sometimes he doesn't find confidence in that. Like his business is brewing on the back end
Yeah.
Yeah.
in like a crazy way, especially at this age of, like, yes, we're 27 and not everyone's buying $1,000,000 homes at
Not
the age of
yet,
27,
not yet.
but, like, that is soon
It's
coming, and
coming.
so I think that the snowball effect is really on its way in the next year or 2.
Have you found that? I know you said you had a bit of a background with, your old job and Lexi's old job
Mhm.
and, friends and family, but how have strangers treated y'all?
I mean, really well. I feel like the pro from a stranger, right? They're just getting to know you. So
Mm,
they know the James of 2026 or the Alexis of 2026. I think some of the friends, family members that have known you for a lot longer are still stuck in the
Mhm.
old
yeah,
James from the past.
yeah.
So like it takes a lot more convincing them like
Mm,
I'm at that level
that's
or maybe
crazy.
they just don't know that yet because they only see you once a year or whatever. They don't know how much growth you've gone over the last year.
That's true.
So that's something I've seen. I think going through the media and the big push of like putting yourselves out there, talking more publicly about what you're doing, what your success is, like you'll be amazed how much people connect with that. And
Mm,
then also how your sphere like learns about you.
mhm.
So at the end of the day though, I mean, there's, as you get more followers, half the followers are gonna love you and half of them are gonna hate you.
Yeah.
So you just gotta keep going and
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
but yeah, I call those people my honey pots.
Mhm.
So like you gotta keep your honey pots happy because they just keep referring you.
Mhm.
But the biggest thing we do, man, is just doing like a good job put in 100%, go above and beyond, set the expectations here and like over deliver. And then if you got happy clients that are like, wow, Benjamin, James, Alexis did an amazing job, they're going to talk to their uncles, their friends,
Mhm.
so your sphere grows that way.
Yeah.
Once you start only caring about the numbers and it's just one deal after the next, and I don't care about this person, like, most of our clients have become friends and
That's
that's
I'm
for a
telling you.
reason. So
Yeah.
you got to really lean into those relationships, and that's how you grow organically.
For sure, for sure. I use because when you're first getting going, every little deal that you felt like it should have happened or could have happened, it's killer. It's like,
Yeah.
man, that's I'm just doing 5, 6 transactions a year. I need every single one. But then you start to understand like that wasn't my person.
Mhm.
And they obviously didn't, show kind of respect in what you are doing, or they had another relationship, they had another connection, or they didn't see fit for that. So what someone told us last week, or it was earlier this week, it was ask why or what you could have done differently to earn the business. I
Mm.
do like that because any other business owner would do that in anything.
Yeah.
So, hey, what could I have done differently to earn your business for the next time
Yeah.
or even that time? And it's just crazy when you put people, you never know why they did it.
Mhm.
You really never know. So that's kind of why I'm like trying to get into business mode as opposed to friendships,
Mhm.
Mhm.
family, because it's a game of business. You kind of got to act like a business owner, but you got to nurture the friendship as a friendship.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're towing that fine line between.
Mhm. I mean, like you said, you're just showing up with whatever
Yeah.
clothes are James's clothes because, like, you wanna come off authentic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And once you pretend to be someone that you're not, that's, like, when you're not getting deep enough, people aren't really trusting you, and they can see right through you, so
Mhm. Mhm.
it sounds like you guys have a much bigger vision. I know it sounds like you're very financially, like, well-versed. You're thinking, like, bigger. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are on your 3rd investment property?
Yeah, so we have our one and we did a flip.
You did a
Mhm.
So
flip?
we did a flip. So our what we're doing is our goal is to buy our second whatever investment property this
Okay.
year. So that'll be our third transaction.
And what's your investment strategy? Are you guys thinking more flips now or more
That's
long-term
something
hold?
else we gotta talk to you because, man, I watch your stuff. I watch your stuff now, and I know the long-term play is obviously to
Yeah.
hold.
Yeah,
It's nice making a quick 40, 50 grand on a flip,
yeah.
but are you looking to make 40, 50 grand, or are you looking to make 4 or 500? You know what I'm saying? It's just one of
Mhm,
those things of understanding that the long-term play is what'll set you up for generations to come.
mhm.
She's one it's funny, she's like, "I don't wanna be a landlord, this, that," and
Yeah.
I get it, and it's funny because the margins are just a bit tight where prices are,
Yeah.
but there's always a deal to be made and found, and when you do find those deals and you buy something that was worth 350 that you do catch for 250 or 225, it's like, I could get off that little difference, or I really could sit and wait, and then that thing will be 500 grand one day, and that's how you look up at 40, 50, and it gets bigger than you could have even imagined. What do you think?
like flipping.
You like
I like
yeah.
flipping because then I don't have to deal with people that destroy my house.
Right.
I so we had a flip by the airport.
Mhm.
It was right? It was like 200.
Yeah, it was 189.9.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would never do that again. It was like a neighborhood that he didn't even feel safe, like, sending me to the house by myself.
Yeah. I
And
don't
so
feel
it's like
safe sending her outside. So it's different. It's different.
like, the neighborhood was not I think our new rule for flipping is, like, if we wouldn't personally live there, I don't think it's necessarily, like, the
Mm,
venture for us because I think getting something at a low price and, like, making it really nice is good in theory, but, like, at that price point, no one cares that we renovated the bathrooms and no one cares that
yeah.
we have a
Yeah.
brand new kitchen, like, they're
It's a
not
fine
looking
line.
at that.
It's
A
a fine
lot of the
line.
feedback we got was not necessarily on our house, it was on the
The neighbors.
price
And the
and the
neighbors.
neighbors, and it's like, we can't control the neighbors, and the price is the
Uh,
price, but people didn't have money. Like, the price point we were playing in, people didn't have money
mm,
to
Mhm.
pay, and so it's like, I think next time we do that, needs to be in an area that we would live in, a house that we would live in,
Mhm.
and then I think we're playing with people in our own sphere
and you
that
can,
can
like
afford
Mm.
houses, and I
yeah.
get to have more fun because then I'll have more budget to renovate.
Right, it sounds like you love that renovation
I
process, the vision
love
of
it.
it, so, like, you're
Yeah,
not using your skills to the maximum when you're not in the right neighborhood
yeah,
for, like, what,
yeah.
the quality that you have in your
And
home.
I know you're interviewing us, but I watched a little bit of your stuff. What are your thoughts on it? And that's just a very short.
Long-term hold,
Of course.
100%.
Of
Like,
course.
the realtor business for me personally is how we make money. I call
To
it my
buy houses.
vertical income. We take that vertical income and we wanna find assets that give us horizontal income. It
Hmm.
helps
That's
build
good.
wealth, cash flow. So, and the reason I got into it is just drinking the bigger pockets Kool-Aid, like, I can retire early, financial freedom, all those
You get 20,
buzzwords.
30 houses by 40, 50. Like, it's
Right.
crazy.
Right. And,
And it's
I
doable.
come from a family that never really owns in that way. We purchased a home in Florida in 2005. It was foreclosed by
Sounds
2006.
like us.
Like, so,
Sounds like us.
like I watched my parents struggle, and what I'm looking to provide and my entire motivation for the next generation of Benamars is like, let's find wealth through real estate.
Yep.
So holding those assets that are paying you, there's so many benefits. I could talk to you about it
I
for an
know.
hour.
I know.
So
I
it's
know.
like that's how I view those 2 buckets. It's like make as much money here so I can invest it here.
Yep.
Long-term holds, but within that, my favorite strategy is co-living. That's how I got started, or house hacking.
I saw that video.
I bought a seven-bedroom house. Lexi and I lived in the master room, the primary suite, and then we rented the other 6
It's not the
bedrooms,
sexy thing to do, though.
It's not. You
It's not
can
the
only
sexy
do
thing
it
to
so
do.
much in your 20s.
Yeah.
Once we got engaged, she was like,
Yeah.
"Alright, we're done with this."
That's one out.
But, yeah, co-living, it's just when I got started in real estate, you could point to a property on Zillow or MLS, and it would cash flow, just long-term rents. But, like, those days are over.
Yeah.
Rates are higher,
Yep.
properties have doubled, if not tripled over the
Mhm.
last decade in Atlanta. All these growing markets are pushing up, so you gotta be, creative. You have to think about a creative strategy, whether it's Airbnb, midterm rental,
Mm.
co-living, renting by the room. You've got to figure out a way to actually cash flow
Mm.
so that, the money you're bringing in is paying off the mortgage. Everything else is gravy on top. Long term, after 30 years, your tenants paid off your property. So it's like, and then
So
your
nice.
family owns it free and clear.
At
Mhm.
55 years old.
Right.
And you just anytime I want 500 grand just sitting, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Those numbers are so insane. Like when you think about if you have the means and the, grit to just hold it,
Yeah.
the money is so big.
Yeah. It's tough now, but I feel you. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a
it
little
sucks.
exhausted from being a landlord.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Got
yeah.
25 tenants I manage.
Come on
And
now.
like last 3 months ago, I was like, Lexi, I can't do this anymore. We're like
So
getting
you
a
paid
property man.
someone? Yeah.
Well, I haven't done it yet. I
See?
had a low point where I was like, nah, I got
Listen,
this for a little
Oh my
longer.
god.
you
But
know leverage.
that's
You
how
know
you,
what
that's
leverage
how you
is.
scale. So
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
the tenants get better as your price point? rises.
Yeah, our best communities are in better
Yeah.
neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You know, we invested in gentrifying areas
Yep.
to get that appreciation and
Of
hit that
course.
curb up.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in 2017, 2018, these neighborhoods, like, Lexi's like, "What? You bought this house?" Like,
Ooh.
she's calling me
You bought this
parked
house?
parked in front of the house. She's trying to, like, walk inside
Lexi is
20
like, "Is
feet.
this
She's
the right
like,
house?"
"Are we clear to walk in?" I'm like, "You're good." Like, so, I mean, you know, Atlanta's Atlanta, but it's, it's definitely sacrifice,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's a trade-off.
it
It
is.
depends on your strategy. If you wanna maximize cash flow,
Mm.
maybe it's a little bit of a dicier area or, you know, lower class tenant base, whatever. But if you want more of a Class A investment, you might be a little bit, you know, be able to sleep better at night, but your cash flow, your numbers aren't gonna be as good.
It's small,
So,
exactly.
it just depends your comfort level,
Mhm.
what, you know, what you wanna deal with, what problems you wanna deal with, but
It
generally.
it definitely makes you think, like, because she's even more open to the idea these days. Like, while she says she likes flipping, she's like, like, truthfully, I know where the wealth really lies, all jokes aside. But I think that first that first one scared her, and we still made money. And that's the crazy thing about it. It's like everything that coulda went wrong, and you still made money. So, like, trusting the plan of investing
Mhm.
into, like you said, those gentrifying areas or those areas on the come up that I would live there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
as if I were 27 and single, I'd live there, like, I would
Yeah.
have no issue with that, you know?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you just have to understand your investment strategy, and I actually have a call at 2 today about that. Just understanding, like,
Mm.
what does it look like putting this money here rather than putting it here and trying to diversify pots and stuff like that because, I mean, life is something where you can mess up. And it's just like you get another shot at it and you say that didn't work, but this one does. I can fail 10 times, but this one or 9 times, but the 10th could hit. So you
Yeah.
really never know.
100%. Man, I feel like I could talk to both of you for
I
another
know. We gotta
hour,
get
but we
dinner.
gotta wrap this
Yeah, I know.
up.
I know.
This is called the Atlanta Agent Playbook, and the one signature question that we like to ask every single guest, and both of you can have a chance to answer this, is what play or piece of advice do you wanna add to our playbook to give back to agents in Atlanta to make them more successful?
I'll start because she's the finisher. She's the
Okay.
finisher.
No pressure.
No, it's all good. But truthfully, like I said, I was reading Gary Keller's book, and it
Mm,
was saying, "If it's meant to be, it will be."
mhm,
Or if it's meant to be me, it will be. So I think that just trusting that you put in the work will help you sleep better at night.
mm,
Because if you spent like I think it was last summer, I was losing sleep. I mean, I was
yeah,
having 6, 7 deals running at a time and not
mhm,
knowing where my next was coming from, and everyone was getting delayed and this and this and this, and they
mm.
all closed. Except one. They all closed. And it got to 2 days away from closing twice, and it was not my fault. But anyway, yeah, so just trusting that you put in the work and trust that your systems are in place to go ahead and keep your business going forward
Mm,
because you'll lose sleep over things you can't control, and that's crazy. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? So just trust that you're putting in the work and it'll all come to be.
Great advice.
Mhm.
What about you, Alexis? What's your one play?
I think it would be to not take things personally.
Mm,
Um, Obviously, dipping my toe into, like, being an official agent, but having worked in sales my entire career, like, it's so
mhm,
easy to take things
Hmm.
personally, but business is business, and people are acting in their own self-interest,
Yep.
mhm,
and if you wanna take that personally, that's only going to affect you, like, much like James said, like, they're sleeping at night.
yeah,
So, like, you have to kinda take the punches and keep rolling, and if you sit there and take it to heart and keep mulling on it and keep thinking it over, like, it's gonna eat you apart, or you could take it, learn the lesson, and keep
mhm,
rolling.
'Cause
dang.
those strangers will be screaming your name from the rooftops, and then
Yeah.
your closest friends and family may or may not, you know? So it's
Yeah,
just one of those things where you just really have to keep going and trust that who's for you is for you.
100%. Well, you heard it here on the Atlanta Agent Playbook. James, Alexis, thank you so much. One last question for you. How can people get in touch with you?
Ooh. So I on Instagram I'm James Kirklin 3,
Mhm.
and you? Alexis_Kirkland. It's new for her. It's new for her. It's
You're
new
like,
for her.
"What's my handle?"
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
no.
Alexis_Kirkland. And then we're also the Kirklins, so TheKirklins on Instagram. And man, it's gonna be a big year. Gonna be
Love
a big
that.
year.
I can't wait what you guys accomplish and what 2026 and beyond has in store for you all. So thanks for being on the podcast and thanks for inspiring the Atlanta agents.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.
Yep.